Welcome to Hypnotic Authenticity. My name is Chris. I'm a practical, grounded hypnotherapist. I'm based in Switzerland, and this is a space that I have created to foster a genuine sense of inner settling, a place to harmonize with yourself and bring about the improvements to your well-being that, I don't know, maybe perhaps you thought were literally impossible. So my episodes are an invitation to reconnect with all that is alive inside you, to examine the stories that you live your life by, and to maybe soften the edges of what it is that you believe yourself to be in order to create a bigger, broader, more expansive sense of your personal agency and your personal understanding. So I'm going to be talking about identity, about existence, about self-resonance, self-harmony, about authenticity. And that'll all be wrapped up with a sprinkling of hypnosis or guided meditation to help you settle, to help you align and return to yourself. So if you're ready, take a breath and let's begin.
I'm going to offer you a procedure, an opportunity to resolve conflicts inside of you. The idea behind this is that in actual fact we all have the solution inside of us already, and it's just a case of tapping into it. And there are many ways that you can look at this. You can look at this as asking your intuition, as asking an inner guide. One that I like myself quite a lot is this idea of asking parts of you, so parts therapy, and in particular Jung's archetypal characters as a way to consider new ways to look at conundrums that your typical brain, your usual voice, is finding tricky to come up with a solution for. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to offer you a quasi-hypnotic induction. So obviously only watch this when it's safe and appropriate to do so. Don't do so whilst driving, whilst operating machinery. Only do so when it's completely safe, completely appropriate to do so, where you can set aside maybe 20 minutes or so just for yourself. But I would like you to come with a question, a positive question, a towards question, a question that is not how can I resolve this problem, but is a question of how do I move towards the goal that I am seeking? What is it that I'm not considering about this issue that will help me make steps towards my goal? Yeah, so a towards question, not a how do I do less of this away from question. Okay, just to be absolutely clear on that. And once you've got that, what we're going to do is we're going to invite an inner guide to give you their support on this issue that for whatever reason you're finding tricky. So as I say, there are many ways to look at this, and afterwards I'll go into one of the nuances that personally I use myself, but it's a much longer process, so I'm not going to do that for the video. For the video, I'm just going to invite you to bring along one guide and ask their permission. So if you need to pause the video, just pause the video and think of the conundrum that it is that you're trying to solve, the problem that you're trying to resolve, and what would be a fantastic question that if you knew the answer to that question, you'd be able to take steps forward in the direction that you want to go, okay? Once you've got that question, just test it, okay? So if you have the answer to that question, how does it make you feel? Because it should make you feel empowered, it should make you feel strong, it should make you feel free and with a set of opportunity, yeah? So if you know the answer to this question, do you feel ready to stride off into the wild blue yonder of the future? If you've got that, then let's do this together. So what I would invite you to do, find somewhere quiet, find somewhere that you are reasonably sure you won't be disturbed for the next 20 minutes or so. And then what I would ask you to do, let's put this beautiful background there. What I ask you to do is either to focus upon a spot on this beautiful background, or if you prefer, just from wherever you are, kind of keep your head forwards, but with your eyes gazing up a little bit. Taking a good deep breath and hold the breath. And let that breath go. Taking a second good deep breath. And hold the breath. And let that breath go. Taking a good third deep breath in. Hold the breath. And as you let that breath go, allow your eyes to close, knowing that when you open your eyes again, the background behind me is going to be bathed in sunlight. Sunrise continues. Focus on your inner experience. Focus on the solidity of the part of your body which is touching the support beneath you. Maybe it's a chair, maybe it's a bed, maybe it's just the floor. And find that silence inside of you. With every breath that you breathe in, breathing in peace. With every breath that you exhale, just breathing out any tension. Noticing what you notice. And see if you can find the place inside your body which is most peaceful. And any noises around you don't bother you in the slightest. You can be aware of them, but it's just the world going about its business, doing what it's supposed to do. And equally you, going about your business, doing what's right for you in this moment in time. Nothing to particularly prove, just bringing an intention of your own well-being. And now what I'd like you to do, noticing how still your body can become, is to imagine that you're sat at the roots of an old, very large oak tree. You're actually sat against the trunk of the oak tree. Maybe you can feel the roots. Maybe it's next to a meadow. Maybe there's a gurgling stream running by. Maybe it's on the side of a hill. Maybe you've got the most tremendous view in front of you of mountain glades, or, I don't know, some appropriate landscape that feels right to you. But this tree has been here for a very long time. Far longer than you or I have been on this planet. So get a feel for the tree. Imagine what it would feel like as you're resting your back against the trunk of the tree. Maybe there's a breeze, maybe you can hear the rustling of the leaves in the breeze. Maybe you can feel the temperature of the air around you. Perhaps the sun is shining. You can sense a glow on your cheeks. Maybe you can notice your heart beating, rising and falling of your chest as you're breathing. Maybe you can notice your pulse in your wrist. And the more you focus on your inner experience, the easier it becomes to do so. The more comfortable it feels, and the more at ease it feels. And you can notice just how easy it is to find the peace inside of you. But we're not here just to find the peace inside of you. We're here to find a solution. We're here to find an answer to a conundrum which has been niggling away at you or maybe bothering you for quite some time. And so I'd like you to bring that question to mind. And I'd like you to invite an inner guide to join you, to give you their perspective. Now, this person, you know better than I know. And so I don't want to tell you too much about this person. This could be an individual, it could be an animal, it could be an essence, it could be a spirit. It could simply be a sense. It could be a bird soaring in the trees. It could be whatever you want. It can be something from that you remember. It can be something from your imagination. But the point is that this person, this individual, this essence, this guide, they've been waiting a long time to meet you. And this is their opportunity to meet you because they've always been with you. They've seen you throughout your life. They've seen you throughout every moment, the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs. They've seen you growing, adjusting, learning, understanding. They've been with you all this time, waiting for the opportunity to come and give you their thoughts and their kindness. And so I wonder if you can imagine this person or this essence or this individual or this sense, this animal, this whatever it may be, and invite them, welcome them to come towards you. It's very safe. I don't know what that will look like to you. Maybe you can see something in the distance approaching you. Maybe you can see something in the sky. As you sit there with your back against the tree, with the breeze in your ears, the leaves fluttering, the sun on your cheeks, the support of the roots, the support of the trunk of the tree, and the wisdom of the earth. Notice this guide moving towards you, coming closer and closer, closer and closer, feeling very safe, very intrigued. And when they're close up, I'd like you to say hello. Introduce yourself, have a chat. Ask them who they are. Notice what they look like. Are they wearing clothes? What era do they come from? What's the expression on their face, if they have a face? Where do they live? What do they do? What do they do for fun? What have they been doing all the times that you two haven't been talking? Would they like more time in your life? Have they been eager to talk to you? Let them express themselves. Let them talk. Get to know them. Imagine this person thrilled to bits that finally they get to meet you. Finally they get to have the conversation with you that they've been looking forward to all their life. Feel their energy. Feel their sense. Feel their essence. And when you're ready, I want you to recall that towards question. Conundrum. And explain to them. Ask them what their name is, Say whatever their name is. Look, I've got this issue that I've been chomping on, and I don't seem to be able to get a resolution. Can you help me? This is the question. Can you offer me your guidance? And this guide, knowing what they know, having seen you from their perspective through your life, can offer you a new, different type of wisdom. And so I'm just going to go quiet and I'm going to let them give that to you. And perhaps maybe you want to speak it out. Maybe you want to read it to yourself. I don't know. Maybe you want to write a note. I'll just go quiet for a minute. Enjoy the view. Whenever they've finished giving you their advice on this issue, what I'd like you to do is ask them, is there anything else that they'd like to tell you? Something that they've been waiting to tell you all their life, which has nothing to do with this question, but that they would love to let you know. And if so, just listen, just hear. Notice what it is about their words. Notice the difference that makes the difference. Ask them if there's anything else they'd like to say. Ask them if they'd like more time in your life. Ask them if there are particular times in your life where they would like to be able to contribute. When you're ready, thank them. Tell them that this is not the last time, this is just the first of many times. Or if you're watching the video repeatedly, that each time that you meet them, the experience will be slightly more vivid, more real, more tangible, more wondrous. And that you can't wait to see them again. And that you're very thankful for their contribution. And so just for now, you can bid them farewell and let them go, safe in the knowledge that you can meet them again whenever you choose to do so. Maybe you want to ask them how it would be best to recall them. And when you're ready, just let them go. You just see them wandering off into the distance or evaporating into the light or being sent back to the place that they came from. You can reflect back upon your inner experience. You can notice your back again against the trunk of that old oak tree. Notice the solidity of the earth, the roots, the wisdom, the eternal nature of the life around you. You can take in a good deep breath. Breathe in the essence of you, breathe in peace, breathe in simplicity, breathe in solidity, breathe in security. Breathing out any remaining tension. Noticing how good that feels. Noticing how wonderful it feels just to spend a moment with yourself. Grateful that you can ask other parts of whatever it is that you choose to believe in this moment to contribute things that you didn't think that you were capable, that the solution always lies inside of you, and that there's no need to search for the solutions outside of you. And when you're ready, open your eyes back up again. Have a look at this beautiful scene, which has now suddenly been bathed in sunlight. And welcome back. Welcome back to the present moment. Taking a good deep breath if you need to. Shake it off. Have a bit of a stretch. Have a bit of a energetic moment, an anaerobic exercise, if that's what you want. Open up a window if you're indoors, take a couple of deep breaths, and then reflect upon what you've learned from yourself, okay? Because you conjured up that entire experience inside of yourself. Now, there are many ways to look at this, okay? So you might just want to scribble down whatever it is that you've learned from that. What I tend to do, in actual fact, with this, so that you can consider this as a sort of a parts therapy, where you're asking different parts of you that you're not customarily asking to contribute. So rather than the normal chattering voice inside of you giving you their contribution, you're asking other voices, if that appeals to your story. But one that I find absolutely wonderful is this concept of Jung, of archetypes, that we all identify with archetypes. We all identify with sort of story type figures: the warrior, the lover, the magician, the sovereign, as a simple set of examples, okay? And what you're doing there is you are inviting personas which you can easily dive into because they've been part of a Disney cartoon for ever since you've been born, sort of thing. And so you can dive into the warrior character who can give you their strong, powerful response. You can dive into the magician's character who knows no limits, who doesn't care about the rule book, who's just coming up with extraordinary creativity. You can dive into this idea of the loving maternal character looking after you, making sure you've considered this from a position of self-kindness, for example, self-love. You can invite the sovereign, you can invite the king or the queen, the one that presides over this incredible kingdom, who has seen all, who is wise, who knows things that are able to take in all of the various demands and expectations of his or her kingdom. So I tend to do this. I tend to bring the question and then I speak into my telephone. And that gives me a record afterwards. Now, it turns out that the words that you're speaking are less important than the sentiment of going through this process of inviting these other characters inside of you. Because what you're doing is you are developing a sense of harmony where there was once a set of kind of dominant characters and quieter characters that felt trapped. So I'm not really sure, but I found myself that if I record my voice whilst I'm doing this and I speak out their solutions, I can come up with some things that I would never apparently have thought of myself. And there they are coming out of my voice. So I find this a fantastic way of resolving conflicts, of finding ways to move forward when you feel stuck. I hope that's of interest. Yeah. So in my story, what I do, I kind of do what I showed you, but once I've grounded myself at the tree trunk, I first of all, in actual fact, invite the warrior. I ask the warrior. I ask them the question. I let them go. I shake them off. Maybe I open my eyes, in actual fact, close my eyes back down again, go back to the tree, invite the magician. Magician knows no limits, absolute creativity. What is it about this question that I'm not considering? Same thing. Give them all the time in the world. Really, really dive into the character of them. Say thank you, say goodbye, and ask them, how do I recall you when I want to bring you back? Let them go. Open your eyes again, close your eyes again, do it a third time, invite the lover, this maternal kind of kind character to give you their perspective, go through the whole process, then invite the sovereign. The sovereign's very wise. You see, the sovereign understands lots of different perspectives and can tie all the loose ends together. So you end up coming out with a conclusion. So personally, I use this as a fantastic way of resolving conflicts that you think you've thought everything about. It turns out you don't know what it is that you know you know. And you know a lot more than you know you know. It's just that you didn't know it. Asking these parts inside of you proves to you that there is more inside of you than you thought.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If it resonates with you, then follow my podcast. I would also personally be really grateful if you might wish to leave a quick rating. It genuinely helps others to discover the podcast. If you personally would like more guided meditations, you want some deeper insights, you'll find all my links in the description. If you prefer a more visual boost, then you might want to check out my YouTube channel called Authentic Life Hypnosis. And if you're looking to do some deeper work that goes beyond one-way audio, then obviously you're very welcome to reach out. Equally, if you have any questions, I'm here to help. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.